had to correct his rotary stability, and we had a room over there with all the equipment Perform Better's got, Brett and I were going to give you 12 minutes, and you had to come back in here with symmetrical rotary stability. What are some of the things you guys would maybe attempt here? Would you just practice the test? Would you do some type of core engagement? Are side planks coming out because you're at a loss? I mean, you've got to change that pattern. That's the competition for all the trainers and coaches in this room. Everybody gets a clone of him. You get to go train him for 12 minutes. We want you to come back and see that clean. Because corrective strategy should give you feedback that quickly. Will it stick? That's a question on how much they're going to participate with it. But I'm going to distill that 12-minute correction down into a 3-minute prep, and you're going to do it on a training day and a non-training day. You're going to do it as a superset between vigorous sets, and a week from now it's a non-issue. So a lot of people want to do a single correction, voila, and have it fixed forever. A habit is making that. A habit is going to break that. I got to do the correction until I can backload some strength onto that. Somebody give me a corrective suggestion real quick. Chop? All right. Wood chop or our spiral and diagonal patterns. The only thing I would say is a wood chop is a half kneeling or tall kneeling pattern. It could definitely change that. But following a developmental strategy, what is the lowest position that I could take him to? Rolling. And there are ways to look at his left and right rolling where this same thing could be magnified. He may be a good enough and strong enough individual. You put him half kneeling, you might not see it. Let's name some prime movers real quick. Pecs, lats, quads, glutes, gastroc, those are prime movers. When you got to lay flat on your back and roll to your front, or lay flat on your front and roll to your back, how many of those muscles I just mentioned can help you? How about diaphragm, TA, pelvic floor? There you go. Well, a guy this big and strong, you put him on wood chops, he'll figure it out in about 3 seconds how to cheat that. So I don't use those diagnostically unless one of the upper patterns, like lunging or hurdle stepping, says I got to go there. When I've got something that fundamental, and what did I tell you guys to watch out for? The person who can do a 3 on the push-up, but not 3s on the rotary stability. Because you've got a lot more core strength than stability. Stability is motor control. You guys are still thinking, how am I going to get his abs active? I'm not. I'm thinking, how can I get the lower ones, the deeper ones, coordinated so they fire before the big ones? Because if all he's got to do is plank and push up, he can kick anybody in this room. But it's when he shifts weight, your first weight shift in the crib looks like that. It is a precursor to your reciprocal patterning, your crawling and your walking. So simply laying and rolling one way or the other. Now, we've got specific ways we do this to lock up all the unnecessary variables. But rolling strips all his prime movers away and exposes a motor control issue. Now, the reason I wouldn't go to rotary stability if his shoulders and active straight leg raise weren't at least 2s is his rolling is going to be complicated by a mobility pattern and not his own motor control. But you've done your work. You got enough mobility. So if you can't roll to one side or have difficulty in kin to the other, we captured the motor control issue. And once we capture it, we can basically train it right out. The way we'll know if we were on the right track is why not just retest? If you change that, move on. Add something else to it. And one of the things we could add to it once we got his rotary stability is one of the things I do for a lot of my big, strong athletes now that sort of lose that inner core, we're going to do some bear crawling. We're going to go find us a nice grass hill. We're going to go up. We're going to go down. We're going to visit John Brookfield with the chains and the ropes and some of the crawling patterns he's doing because you can't not engage your core. You can't use your hips or your shoulders without a pre-engagement of the core. So bear crawling is huge, but not with an asymmetry. The get-ups are good supplementary. Do 1 week of get-ups and 1 week of bear crawls. I think they're going to be complementary. And if you notice, if you're tight enough on your get-up, you probably got an asymmetry or a glitch or a struggle. Patterning that out, working on that will fix it, but also the bear crawling. So, okay, cool. Bear crawling is on your feet, on your hands, not on your knees.
Thank you. Next.